everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's a bit of an odd hour today, going from 4 to 6. I have some prior engagements at 6 o'clock today. So, yeah, I hope that's not a problem for anybody. But here we are today. The goal for this stream is to... Actually, I should pull that up. Is to work on the design for the nodes here. Is there like a PNG I can use? There we go. So we've done the regular tiles. We've done the blanks, which are just this, but with no letter in it. We've done the forts, both the vertical one that you see here and the horizontal ones. And the last special tile to work on are the nodes, or I guess, I don't know what to call them with the re-theme. The sort of like, just French. Like the new theme of classic French board game aesthetic. Maybe like banners or something like that. I mean, if we're already going with the sort of coat of arms heraldry look, I think it makes sense to make it like a some sort of banner looking thing. But that's what we're gonna do today. If we don't end up finishing it by the end of this stream, then we can work on the board itself. But I think this will take up most of our time. I need to get some notes out for like font sizes and stuff like that. Random thing that I saw today. Did you see the YouTube changed its look again? I don't know why they do that. They do that just randomly sometimes. They just change what YouTube looks like. But now, instead of square thumbnails, it's rounded thumbnails. Like rounded corners. I don't know how this will change the thumbnail game. But yeah, I mean, I guess it looks more modern. It always looks a little weird first time around, but... we'll get used to it. Oh, today's featured apple is the Envy apple. I think at this point I have not. I think I've tried every apple that's available at my local Walmart. So, yeah, we're getting some repeats. But the Envy I remember it being good. So the challenge here today is going to be incorporating how we're going to have the theme while also... like having these 4 things on the end, right? So, because the only thing mechanically that we need on the special tile is that they have those like points on each side, because those points lining up with other nodes are what are the visual sort of indicator that you do something with them. So that's something I want to incorporate in there. But otherwise, we're free to do it however we want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to remove all this stuff and leave us with a basic template. I don't know if I want to keep the red or make it a different color, because the red and white is pretty distinct for this tile, and it's sort of like a, you know, I chose red because it sort of signals like, oh, it's a negative effect. You know, it's blocking the movement of the board. So instead, this one should have a more positive color, I guess. And I'm thinking... now, I've drawn the colors so far from this board right here. And I'm thinking maybe we do blue this time around as the primary color. Or green. We could do blue or green. I mean, there's a nice... I thought there was like a purple here. There's a nice blue here. I like this shade of blue. We could do blue on blue. Like dark blue on light blue. But that might be a little difficult to see. I don't know. Let's give it a whirl. So we'll do... this one? Yeah. We'll sample the light blue there. We'll sample the darker blue here. I just want to see what this color combo looks like. Did it change? Did it do anything? Hold on. Oh, I see. I see what happened. I forgot to change the layer. So it just sampled like transparent nothingness. Oops. Where's the... traffic? How is there traffic outside? I live in a small neighborhood. You don't usually see traffic. Weird. Anyway. Okay, there we go. Got the light blue and the dark blue. I mean, it looks a little bit more green, doesn't it? It looks a little green. I wonder, though, what it looks like with the, like, filter over it. Okay, so that just looks... looks a little pale. Like, it looks a little sick. You know what I mean? Not in the good way. It looks seasick. This is a starker green. Let's try this. This, like... or acid green. I guess you could argue it looks a little... yeah, it's a little more yellow. Well, it certainly stands out. I don't know, I kind of like it. Are these complementary colors? I'm not sure. It certainly stands out from the other tile, though. I think I'll work with this. I'll have this the background. So, the question then is, how do we incorporate the, like, little lineup pieces? I suppose maybe we could, like... We could find some... Well, no, we can't just use the French flag. That's not how that works. Maybe like a war banner. Oh, those are a thing, right? French line infantry flags of Arcola. Okay, well these are actually red and blue and white. Well, I guess that makes sense because it's France. But they're already conveniently square-shaped. Hold on. So here's the image I was looking at. It has some designs there. What else can I find? The 100 Years War. I know that was a pretty big deal. Those are fantasy banners. I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but this seems like probably the best reference that I'm going to find. The rest of these are... Well, I'm not seeing any that are actually square-shaped. That's Kylo Ren for some reason. Yeah, you know what? Let's work off of this. Now, I don't know what these each mean. Like, I don't know what historical significance they have. I'm guessing that these numbers and acronyms have something to do with the divisions of whatever... Yeah, French line infantry. Like the different infantry divisions. Although all the elements seem to be pushed over into the corners rather than the sides. Unless we sort of, you know, well that, you know, you see it makes a sort of cross shape almost. Just something like that. But I like this one. I like this one. We'd be using the, I guess what would you call it? We'd be using the negative space instead of the positive space, I guess. Because, like, instead of having an element here, it's the lack of an element here that you line up. Because, I mean, if you can imagine if you had two of these next to each other, you know, they'd line up, and these two, like, what do you call this? Two arms would touch. I'm gonna open up one of the walls again just so I can look at it. So we can make it distinct. So this has straight lines, right? Like it's all very rigid straight lines. So I think if we use something, I think if we went with this one, this, what is that? Or this, is that degree? 40E? Number 40 right here. But we also have to think about the letters. Because it wouldn't fit very well inside there. Well, we would modify it. We don't have to, this is a template. So let's just try getting that shape. I think the easiest way to do that would be with like one of these pointed stars. I wish there was one that was more rounded. I could have sworn there was one here. Like a, you know, like a rounded four-pointed star. But it's not rounded. I guess you could also just use circles for this. They look kinda oblong. Here's what we'll do. We'll try to make a few circles here. Just to change it to black for now. We want the openings there to be large enough. Okay, how am I gonna do this? And then I can flip you around to create the exact same thing on that side. I'll try to rotate this 90 degrees. Oops. That's about as close to 90 as we're gonna get. The circles aren't big enough. The circles need to be bigger. Okay, let's try this again from the top. They need to overlap. That'll do. That'll work. Maybe it's a little big. See. Oh, chat. So I'd like to share with you a little update about the goings on. So this last weekend, I had the haunted house thing again. I do it every Friday, Saturday, but my parents got to come this time. And okay, that'll work. My parents got to come through this time, which was really awesome. They got to see it again. They came through with one of their friends. And I was told that their friend that they went with, like, was so scared that she was sweating, throughout the whole haunt. Which is, like, that's pretty intense. Like, I know some people get scared easier than others, but that's just, that kind of surprised me a little bit. But she had a good time. She was posting on Facebook like, never thought I'd go to a haunted house, but this one's actually pretty good. I don't know. That made me feel pretty good that we were able to, I don't know, make a new fan, make a new haunt fan. And my mom was the same way. She was like afraid of haunted houses the first time she went through, but after the last time, she really dug it, I guess. Yeah, there's a little hole there. Hold on. You can plug this leak. But yeah, I mean, it's getting harder and harder, though, the haunt. These lines are getting, so in the haunt, we call them conga lines. When a bunch of people get stopped up and they're all, like, chained together. We call that a conga line. And last night, we go for 5 hours from 7 to 12. Jeez Louise. We had conga lines all night. Until maybe like the last 5 hours or so. It was pretty crazy. But I'm getting better at it. You know? I think this time last year, I would be like dying every night, but I feel pretty good most of the time at the end of most nights. Okay, hold on. So here's the basic shape. I think that looks pretty cool. That turned out about as well as I expected it to. Look at that. I'm a real graphic designer. Look at all those circles. But I think it needs something else. You know, it needs a little chutzpah. I don't know what it is, though. Oh, no. Chat. It looks like IKEA. I was like, what is that? What does this color combo remind me of? That's what it is. It's IKEA. Now, of course, the color combo isn't set in stone. We can choose something else. Like... I don't know, we can pick a starker blue. Maybe like one of these. Let's see how that looks. Well, I mean, I guess that makes it look more like IKEA. Now that I think about it, I don't know what I was going for there. It's a nicer blue, though. This looks more gray. I think I prefer this shade. But yeah, I think because this one is nicely decorated. It's got some details. I mean, even the default one has some detailing on it. It has a couple of elements. It's got the circle. It's got the checkers. This one has the little heraldry. What could we do? I mean, we have these little things in here, but those, of course, go over the... Well... That didn't stop us from putting that big white line through the fort tile. What other color, what tertiary color do we want to use? What goes with these? Actually, you know what? I have a resource for this, I think. For finding color combos. Let's see. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab the hex numbers for these. So I can sort of generate a palette. What is this? Copy. Paste. Lock that in. And then our secondary color. So, by the way, this website that I'm using is called Colors or Coolors. Collors. I found it while looking for a random color palette generator. Basically, it lets you roll for 5 random colors. Then you can lock in the ones you like and then roll again. And it'll, like, give you the... It'll slim down the pool to colors that match the ones you locked in. Kind of neat. Oh wait, is that how that works? I actually don't think that's how it works. I think you just lock in the ones you like, and then it keeps giving you random ones. I don't think it actually has anything to do with... Okay, never mind. But if you're curious, these are called Maximum Green Yellow and Sapphire Blue, according to this website. I kind of like this one, though. This is a neat color. This is called Coquelicot, which, funnily enough, sounds pretty French. So we already have this pattern in here. Why not use it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just place these in here. That looks kind of nice. Does it look better with it all red, or... I think I like it all red, rather than having a blue dot in the middle. Looks nice. But I think we can add a little bit more details on the outside here as well. So what I'll do, check this. And then do something like this. Now, I think this looks cool. That looks pretty neat. I don't know if it's really in line with the other tiles aesthetically, though. You know what I mean? It looks more... It looks like... What am I thinking of? It reminds me of, like Indian artwork. Or maybe something you might see in South America or something. Doesn't quite fall in line with the with this sort of aesthetic going on. Maybe it's closer to like this than anything else. But even then. Or we could take a cue from our source material and split them down the middle. I'm gonna keep this as a potential option, like on a separate layer. But let's try something else. So first of all, we need to make a line. No anti-aliasing, please. That's not gonna help. They don't actually touch the corners. That's a little odd. Okay. Let's just make sure. Okay, that's off center. That's as good as it's gonna get. And then, wait. Okay, we'll figure that out later. I was thinking, how are we going to split it down the middle? If we try using the magic wand, it'll just like, it'll go everywhere but the line. Anyway, what was I saying before? I was talking about the haunted house. Yeah, the haunted house has been great. I only have 2 nights left, which are going to be the hardest, of course, because it's Halloween weekend. But you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I've been having a good time so far, and I get to see people come through in their Halloween costumes, kind of. I'll still be nearsighted, but I don't know. That'll add an extra little bit of spice, I guess, to the experience. But after that, like this Sunday, I agreed to help my church with their like fall festival, and they let me do the cakewalk, which was awesome. I got to spin a wheel and call out numbers and be like, "Who wants to come to the cakewalk? Come and walk for cake. Win a fabulous prize." You know, stuff like that. So that was really cool. I like that a lot. You know what I might need to do? I need to merge the layer down. Okay, let's do that. And then one of these. Then we can reverse the polarity Okay. There we go. Okay. So now... Bing, bang, boom. Look at that. Perfect. Hey, that looks pretty nice. What do we think of that, chat? Is it readable? I'd say it's pretty readable. And then we add this on top of it too. Well, okay, maybe for a different game, but that actually kind of looks pretty neat. Like it's got the air. It looks like there are arrows, like swirling into it. That's kind of fun. But that definitely adds some spice. And we ended up using red again though, didn't we? I just realized that I was doing all this talk about how I wanted it to be distinct. Let's experiment a little bit with other colors that aren't red. I'm thinking maybe we try like that lighter shade of blue again. This might just show up as white though. You know, white on yellow. Could make it blue, but that's hard to read. The white does look good on it, though. Even though it's, like, not white, it's, like, pink. If we're gonna use a white color, then maybe we should just use the same color as this one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if this is exactly white. I think it is. Well, actually, no. Well, I think it is exactly white, but it's only showing up as off because it has, like, that filter over it. But just to make sure. I'm gonna get the... Okay, yeah, it's perfect white. So at least there's like some unifying... There's a unifying element between the two special tiles, and that they both use white. I like that. That's pretty nice. Although I still think maybe we should have maybe like a little circle here or something. Because lining up the negative space feels a little weird. Although I guess that's something that I'm planning on playtesting tomorrow. I didn't mention that. So I decided not to have a playtest today in favor of doing this. Because the goal of the playtest tomorrow, which I have confirmed that I have somebody that will be there for that. What I want to do is one, to try to use the nodes, or I guess the banners, whatever I'm going to call them, more effectively. And two, to see if the new graphical update is easy to read and parse. It just feels, I don't know, it just feels flat compared to the other ones, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's no texture. I'm going to play around with this a little bit. Should be 45 degrees. That's as close as you're going to get. Sorry, I was looking at it from a distance. Maybe that is what we could do. Like, extend these petals to the edges. I wish I could turn anti-aliasing off just like universally. We can make these, maybe we can make these blue petals. Check this. well, we need to make them a lighter color. Is there a lighter blue here to use? I guess that's the lightest blue that I can get. That's a nice subtle color. Light enough where you can still read it underneath the... underneath the letters. But it's not dark enough to be able to discern. Right. So like the idea is like, okay, line up the long petals of the flower. I need a different blue. Oh, one of these. How about this? We'll try this blue. What layer are you on? Well, this isn't even really blue, is it? It's like... this is blue. But not really. I have to remember that anything I choose becomes desaturated. So if I pick this, for instance, it looks like a dark blue, but... Did anything change? Only very slightly. Alright, this, I think this is the extreme that we need. I like that shade of blue. But I also like this dark one. I don't feel like, cuz this looks like it's clashing a little bit. You know what I mean? Cuz you have two different shades of blue. Every other, okay, well maybe that's not true. I was going to say every other tile, the other tiles have two colors. Two main colors. I guess, like, with the exception of this, because of the shades of gray in the wall, but like even that, it's like gray, white, and red. All right, this one is brown. These are all brown, or slightly different shades of brown. I guess white, blue, and dark blue would be fine. I don't know which one I like more though. Hold on. Experiment time. Can I get this just right? You can see what I'm going for, right, chat? So close. It's almost perfect. Maybe I should just move them individually. Actually, that'd make a little bit more sense. These bottom ones are in position. Maybe I'm just not trying hard enough. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it, isn't it? There's no gaps that I can see. And then I go ahead and do one of these. Wait, no. Wait. I do one of these. I think that looks beautiful. Heck, even these like outline circles look kind of nice. You can barely see them. Well, okay, actually, we'll take those out. We won't use those, but I think it looks pretty good. Maybe like where the petals line up should be bigger. It would feel better to line them up if they were bigger, if that makes sense. And I'd also like to try and see what it looks like if I swap the colors around. Do I prefer the darker color on the outside or the inside? I think I prefer the other way. Because, like, these are farther away. Like, the corners, right? Let me see if I can't describe what I'm trying to talk about. Because, like, the corners are a layer away from the colored petals, right? So it's like you have light blue, yellow, dark blue, light blue, instead of light blue, yellow, light blue, dark blue. So I think this has better contrast. On the other hand, the darker color being on the outside makes it feel a little bit more solid, which I guess you don't want, because these tiles are intended to be taken off of the board, like to be swapped out. Which I didn't even think about it till just now, but the way the dark blue portions kind of resemble arrows a little bit helps to, like, sell the idea that it's being swapped out for something else. If only just subliminally in some way. That's pretty cool, though. So I'm gonna try to make the petals a little bigger. I can always undo it if it's too much. I swear, I've been turned into a full-blown Coldcept fan. Let me tell you. I find myself browsing Coldcept Central on my free time quite a lot. Maybe not quite a lot, but like ever since I deleted Reddit, which, by the way, delete Reddit for your own good. Ever since I deleted Reddit, it's been sort of my go-to place just to scroll and kill time. I like looking at the card art and seeing the different combos people come up with. I don't know how active it is these days. The last blog post on that site, I think, was about... Well, I think it was either about the release of Coldcept Revolt or the, or like they have a new Discord or something like that. But I get the feeling that it's not, like, as poppin' as it used to be. Which is a shame. Again, I love Coldcept. But it always seems like I find a community that... Like, the games I get attached to usually seem to be games that are on their way out, are dying, or are dead. Like Team Fortress 2, Titanfall 2, Coldcept. I guess Splatoon 3 is the exception to that. But, yeah, still. Anyway, I think this looks better. I think this looks way better. They take up a lot more space. And I think it'll help it to feel a little bit better to line them up when there's something, you know, chunkier there. And I know that it's like they're just images on a tile, but it does make a difference. Now, would I call this a banner? I don't know what I'd call this. An emblem, maybe? Or... I don't know. Banner sounds nice, and emblem sounds nice too. Is there a French word that would fit here? Hold on, I'm getting some Discord pings. My friends and I are organizing another D&D thing today. Words for military objectives, maybe? Sites, objects, installations. Okay, this isn't exactly what I was looking for. Synonym for banner. Streamer flag, headline. Because, like... I mean, these are banners. So I don't know why this couldn't be a banner. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with that. Look at that! I think that looks pretty nice. Maybe they don't fit in the best, but they're certainly distinct. Yeah, you're not going to mistake any of these for anything else. Very good. Okay. So... let's save this as... Motile banner sample. So now what we gotta do is we gotta make one for each letter. For each letter combination. Which will be easier than the last time. It's just 4. So we got double E, double O, TH, and SH. And I... Yeah, I mean, I've already optimized the tile around this font size, but I need to figure out what the font size is. I'm pretty sure it's 300. Because what I wrote down for the default letter tiles was 350, and I usually like to work in multiples of 5. Look at how vibrant that is without the dust filter on it. Tree fitty. E. Oh, right. 300. Yeah, see, look at how massive this guy is. E. O. I. What is that? Okay, so it's not 300. $250? Okay, $250 it is. And helpful thing, I have this dandy little diamond in the middle to help me line things up. There we go. Oh, tiles, special tiles. Tile banner. This is the double E. Banner, double E. Boosh. Already prepared the double O for myself, so I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, what was I saying? I think I was talking about concept. I'm kind of considering doing concept content outside of this main playthrough. Because I've really... I don't know, something about it really speaks to me. And I don't know. I feel like it's just... It's almost an injustice to me. That concept doesn't get more recognition than it does. And for the few concept content creators that I think exist, I don't think any of them are really active anymore. So maybe it's my call to take up the arms, you know? Not that I'd expect there to be like any market for it. I definitely wouldn't be in it for the internet fame, I'll tell you that. But maybe maybe there's a small community that would appreciate somebody, you know, trying to breathe some more life into it. Then again, maybe I'm just blowing smoke. And there are pretty good creators out there already doing concept stuff that I just haven't taken the time to find. But yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about that. Maybe once I get to college, I'll start like a concept league. That could be fun. That'd be a fun thing to stream. And maybe I'll actually be able to get some people to play test these games with me in person. Skya and Jordan, my usual play testers, they're great. I'm thankful to have them help me. But there are some things I'd like to do in person as well. I think it's hard to really get a feel for how your game plays truly until it's on a tabletop setting and not a simulated one. You know what I mean? That looks about right. It's about in the center. Save as. PG. Speech. Boosh. All right. I think with that, we're done with the special tiles. At least. And I'm done with my apple. There's no more apple left. So how much time we got left? There's still about an hour that I've given myself. Or an hour before my friends arrive. So... I'll do that later. I'll update the tabletop demo later. Oh, you know what I need to do? You know what I would need to do? I need to update the rules. Or at least reword the rules. Before I forget how to win. Your turn. Mulligan. Banner. It's really just renaming things. Or rewriting things. Swap out a banner. I guess I could Control F this instead. No. To your turn. Scoring. Off of words. Actually, I should switch this around. up a little bit. If you play at least 5 tiles during your turn, you earn 1 bonus point. Banner. Blank for banner. Okay, so how might I describe this? It's yellow. Well, is it yellow? It is yellow, right? Yellow, white, and blue. With a flower blooming in its center. Yellow, white, and blue. Say. Center. The double letter combo on it. Okay. In the grid, you may use your turn to mix it into the bag and then draw a new tile to replace it with. If you cause 2 or more petals. If you cause the blue petals of 2 or more banners to line up, to touch. If you cause the blue petals of 2 or more banners to touch on your turn. If you cause the petals of 2 or more banners to connect. You must mix those nodes, banners, into the bag and then replace them with tiles from your hand. If you have no tiles to replace them with, the grid. Boosh. Or I guess I should say you may. You may mix them into the bag. That would allow you to, like, wait and set up maybe like a bigger combo of banners. The banners in the grid. Okay. There's the credits. Then I'll need to make this into for Ruth. 4th draft. I need to make this into a PDF for later. Okay. All right, with that done, that's good to go. We can start on the board. Let me open that up. Look at it. Aren't those beautiful? So nice. Now, where am I keeping the board? That's the old game. No images. Where's the board at? Field. There it is. That's what I was calling it. Open. So yeah, this is the placeholder field that we've been using thus far. I think it's time we give it a little update. Now we have a lot more space to work with here than we did on any of the individual tiles. Because of course, this is a 5x5 grid of these tiles. So the question is, what do we put on the grid? Or should say, the board. First of all, we need to separate these into layers, so we can work with them easier. Because these lines are already nice and lined up. Whoa, hey. So, it's selecting everything? Okay, I'll have to do this one at a time. Dang it. Now, I'm kind of inspired by, you know, those the boards on our mood board, like the board games on our mood board that have just like sort of random images. On the edges. But those are placed on areas that aren't involved in gameplay. You know what I mean? Like if you'll observe like here, it's got like, you know, some decorative horses. I guess that's like home base. But you know, it's a big enough space where it's like, it's just a placeholder. But I think I'm more talking about like this stuff, right? Where on the edges of the board, there's some nice illustrations to fill up the space. There's some more horses here. But in this game, we don't really have that luxury because the tiles, that's like, it's all gameplay space. Now we could go this route where they just say, well, who cares? You're putting something on top of it anyway. So just go all in with nice illustrations. But the problem there is that I'm not an illustrator and I don't know how to do that. I cannot draw, which, side note, is something that I am pleased to learn that I will learn how to do. Well, not that I was like blindsided by this information, but it's something that I will get to learn how to do as part of my coursework in college, is drawing. which is very exciting because I feel like that's one area of artistic discipline that I have not touched really at all. Because like I feel confident doing writing and acting and voiceover and game design and all that stuff, making music, but I can't draw for my life. I can't illustrate a damn thing. So that'll be very exciting to add to my things to do, things I'm able to do. But until then, I'm gonna have to stick with like clip art and stuff if I want to go down that route, which I kind of don't want to do. I mean, it does look pretty nice on the wall. I think in that instance, it ended up looking pretty nice, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I mean, we should use the principal colors, right? Like the main colors of the game, which are these colors right here. So I guess first things first, what I'll do is I'll sample some colors here. Let me get this one. So like the special tiles, obviously they're special, so they like stand out. But this is sort of the main palette of the game. Like just sort of browns and tans and stuff like that, and black. I guess these are already black, so I don't need to change them. But so let's then do like one of these. Oh, no. One of these. Oh, why does it look like that? It's kind of gross looking. Alright, give me black instead for the lines. No, sir. One of these numbers, yada yada yada. Boosh. Is that just black? It is. Right. Right. Okay, actually, if I want these colors to be the same, I need to pull from the PNG. So this should end up looking a little bit better. Okay, so that already changed. There we go. That looks way better. So that's closer in line with the tiles. And I don't think we have to worry about them blending in either. So then the question is, okay, the edge, what needs to be done is that the edges need to be a different color. The ring needs to be a different color than the middle, the grid. Those need to be clearly different. So maybe what we can do... the first thought I had was that we make the grid a checkerboard with the same colors as we have over here. Let me grab a couple of these. Check this. Is that the same color? Am I just making it the same color? I don't think you can tell the difference. I'm gonna make it this color instead. There we go, that stands out. You know what? I want to see how this looks on the board. I can just plop one on there. Well, okay, not quite. I can't actually do that because they're like sort of different scales. I had to adjust them a little bit once they were in the tabletop simulator. But if we bring it down a little bit, yeah. It really pops against the dark grid. Cool stuff. Okay, so what do I want to do with the outside? Because I think I'm gonna keep the middle grid just simple like that. But I want to add some like stuff like this, like these illustrations. But I don't know if I can just grab, like, where do I find that kind of stuff? Just royalty free. Like French folk art royalty free. Transparent. Has anybody searched for this before? Okay, so I'm finding just fairies. These are all fairies. I don't know what I did to get only fairies. I guess that's the folk art part. Okay, so yeah, I think it sees folk art and it just defaults to fairy for some reason. Free. I have no idea what I'm looking for. Okay, well, I guess we have a sort of like military theme, like a slight military theme. So maybe like French soldier painting transparent. Okay, we're getting a little closer to something usable. French. What if we just look up French painting? Now, there's no way I can just take one of these wholesale, right? Like... Okay, well this one's a little intense. This claims to be royalty free, though. I do like it, though. Let me put it on our mood board. So here's the French Revolution. This claims to be a royalty-free painting. It's a little, yeah, it's a little intense, I'd say, for what we're going for. I think maybe something like a cafe, or yeah, one of these. Like I like these landscapes. But like these are definitely copyright protected, aren't they? Well, I guess not. Right? Like you can use Van Gogh's stuff for free. Right? I mean, it's in the public domain, isn't it? Our famous paintings copyrighted? Question mark. All artwork has copyright protection. Lasts for a limited period of time. Lasts for... Yeah, different copyright laws, 70 years. Okay, so what I should be looking for is public domain. I think that's the term I need to be looking for. Public domain French landscape. Okay, so anything from like the 1800s should be... These are all so dark. They all have very dark colors. Okay, I should be putting the ones I like on the board, shouldn't I? Well, I like I like this one. This one's nice. I like that one. I think like a landscape or like this, where there's some gentlemen enjoying a nice evening at a cafe. Although, again, that does sort of clash with, like, we've named these forts and banners, so it should be... It should be war themed, right? Like... But I don't want just, like, dead bodies on the board. You know what I mean? This one's kind of nice. This is like... I think this is depicting, like, after the battle. Like a picture of victory. That one's good. I like this one. I think I might use this one. Okay, yeah. This image is in public domain. So let's just... Oh no. Gonna need to stretch it a little bit. So that's sort of the... This is sort of the concept I'm looking for. I think that's actually framed pretty nicely. But it just looks a little tacky though, doesn't it? I think it would look better if it was just on a background. Like if I outline these figures and put them on the background rather than the whole image, I think that would look way better. But that's gonna be a little annoying, but I'll do it anyway. It's not something that I'm averse to doing. I've done this kind of thing before for Ego and Opus. I had to outline myself. Where's the lasso select? The first thing I like to try is just using the magic wand. I'm playing around with the tolerance. In this case, though, I don't think that's going to work. I think we're going to need to do this honestly. Bit by bit. But we'll get her done. So I guess we'll be doing this for the rest of the stream. See how much we can complete. Of course, they'll probably be here very soon. They usually don't get here like at 6 or whenever we plan it. They usually get here kind of early. Or at least like a little early. Kind of depends though. Sometimes they're not the most punctual gentlemen. So if we just... I think this will be easier if I turn off the grid as well. I think I mutilated this man's face. Well, you can't really tell. We can't really fuss about the minor details here. We're making the mother of all omelets, as they say. And I think we can just leave this, like this corner, as is. Oh boy. So this is the hardest part though. You can't really get away with it as easily when it's a straight line, like this spear. You can clearly see my hand movements. It's also very important that you do this in pieces. Because if you try to do this whole lasso selection in one go, like I've tried to do before, you will mess up and you'll have to start again, which feels really bad when you make a lot of progress. Because it's a little fiddly. But we're getting there. This isn't taking as long as I thought it would. Okay, so then how do I grab him? I guess I can just magic wand him now. Or not. There we go. That's more or less the whole thing. See? Control V. We can move this guy to the corner. Give him a little more width. I don't think that looks half bad. Now for the other guy. This one's gonna be a little tougher, lads. This is gonna be a little bit tougher. Can I do it? Probably not. Oh, I see a squirrel. There's a squirrel out there. We can do the other part of this later. But before I leave, he looked a little stretched out. I think I'm gonna... Yeah, there we go. You know what? Now that I think about it, why even put decor on the outside anyway? It's going to be blocked the entire game. It actually makes no sense at all to put anything on the ring. Never mind. Hold on. Wait a sec. It makes no sense. I think at most we can put like a pattern there or something. Like now usually at this scale, these sort of patterns don't really work all that well. You'll see what I mean, because the details are too small to actually show up. Yeah, see? You can't hardly see the pattern there. So maybe we'll just leave it like this sort of flesh color, you know? I don't know, that feels... It feels bald. It feels naked. It just makes no sense, is the thing. Like, for something you'll never even see that's covered up. I don't know. I'll figure it out. My friends are here, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. Actually, I should save this as a... Save, yeah. Save this as a PDN first, and then save it as an... well, actually, it's not finished yet, so... Okay. Thank you all for watching. I'll be here tomorrow with a playtest. And with the demo updated. And I will catch you. That'll be from 6 to 8, like normal. So I hope to see you there. But until then, I'll catch y'all later. You have a good night. And goodbye.